This is Ashley, and we are live on Western Fashion behind the scenes. And we are with the one and only Stacie Tarr. She is someone who I have looked up to and admired for quite a long time. She's a rodeo wife.
She is a mother of two. She entertains us regularly on Instagram, and I know she's going to be in Las Vegas for the National Finals Rodeo because her husband, Matt, is the alternate barrel man at the WNFR this year. She is also a champion of women, and she always has something amazing on. Congratulations to Matt, and welcome, Stacie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to get to know you more, and I know other people are too. I know that you are not always in Western fashion, right? And Western fashion behind the scenes really highlights what do you do on an everyday basis. And you, my friend, travel all over the world. So tell us a little bit about your daily life and what goes on.
Okay, so yeah, my husband, he's a professional rodeo clown or barrel man or entertainer. There's a lot of different titles that he carries. But we have two kids and we homeschool. We get busier in May and we're basically on the road from May until I would say the end of October. We do anything from pro rodeo to amateur rodeos, but that's basically their season. And so we get up and we have a big fifth wheel trailer that we haul behind our truck and we go from place to place. He books rodeos as far as 3 to 4 years out. Even our 4th of July is booked out 4 years. So
That's
it's
crazy.
hard. Yeah, scheduling wise, we just roll with it. We look in the books and we try not to do that too often. The 4th of July, of course, is a big one. So that one we schedule a little farther out. But yeah, we go and we eat in the trailer and we go from town to town, and I try to find fun things for us to do with the kids in different cities and such because it's a cool opportunity to seize when you're homeschooling, especially.
This
But
is an
yeah, we're
amazing
always
opportunity. I want to talk about it a little
yeah.
bit more because I know there's a lot of women and men who want to homeschool their children and would love to take them on the road. This is something we've talked about before. There's a few people on here who have children and have explained strategies of how they think about it and why they did what they did. Have you always homeschooled your children?
We always have, but growing up, if you would have asked me 11 years ago or 12 years ago, are you going to homeschool? I probably would have said no because I was raised differently and I was in public school, and all my siblings, we were all in public school. But with our son, when we found out he was coming, Matt started getting busier and busier. And so we thought, we just can't be home and you be gone all the time. And honestly, he said to me, he's not going to do it if we can't go. So then I always like to say homeschool picked us because I really wasn't prepared mentally to do that. But I just started researching things, and there's tons of programs out there that are step by step. If you want to pick and choose and collaborate programs, that's great. But I like a more simple approach. So we just do the BACA, and it's basically, I like to say, idiot proof because it's a DVD. I can pop it in. Our boy's 11. He can watch it if he has a question and he comes to Matt or I. But otherwise, it's pretty much laid out there. He's got books and it has all the curriculum and everything you need there. So it's pretty straightforward. I would recommend it 10 out of 10. We love it. You can be flexible. You can travel. He can read while we're driving. It's just and the socialization end of it. But if you rodeo, there's tons of socialization. So you don't have to worry about that at all.
Yeah, everyone learns how to talk in rodeo and everyone knows how to shoot the breeze in rodeo.
Yes.
That's what's good about it. So you have an 11-year-old. You have other children or just one?
Yes. Branson, he's 11. And then Memphis, she's 3.
Oh my gosh, so
They're 8
fun.
years
Okay.
apart. So
That was good. Okay. 3 and 8. You are
yes.
brave. You're out there on the road doing it real, living it. If you were to give advice about where you're at, what would the advice be if someone was going to say, because there are people who are like, hey, I'm ready to quit my full-time job and pursue whatever it is I'm trying to figure out. It sounds like you support Matt so much in that. So give us some thoughts around that.
I would say 100% known is always going to be scary. Change is scary. When we told everybody, or when my family met Matt and they were like, he's what? He's a rodeo clown? Okay, that's a topic for conversation at Thanksgiving. Let me tell you, we just had Thanksgiving. And when I first met him and brought him home, they were like, what? And he's very shy. If you know him, he has a different personality in person than he does in the arena. And that's probably a lot of guys. Some guys are always on when they do this job, and some are just like they save it for their job. And that's very much how he is. But I would say go for it. I wouldn't be never in a million years would I have thought rodeo would have brought me as many opportunities as it has today, just being the wife of a rodeo. And I think it's great because even to this day, I think, oh, wow, where I'm getting this and that and whatever, where I'm shopping and it's just what I do. So to me, it's just what I've always done. And I feel like I've always been a very confident person. So even if maybe someone doesn't like what I'm wearing, not to be harsh, but I just don't really care. I'm going to wear it. So
Yeah. And I think that's a
be
common denominator of a
comfortable
lot
in
of the
your
women.
skin.
I do. I
Yeah,
think that women admire that and they're looking for that. And how do they get that right? The only way to get it is to practice. And you get a lot of practice because
right.
you get to show up somewhere different every single night. You get to be in a different
So
environment every
true.
single
Yeah,
night. That allows you to have this kind of transformation. And anyone can do that, right? They can do that mentally. They can do that emotionally. They can figure out how to put themselves in a different state of mind before they go into work the next day. And I think a lot of that has to do with clothing. Tell us about your journey of Western fashion and how you got to where you're at right now.
okay. So honestly, I just pick things and roll with things as I feel just like in the mood. I don't know if that makes sense, but I have a few girls that I follow and I like to just, just that day. It just depends on like how I'm feeling to what I'm going to wear.
I love this. Tell me a few of your favorite or inspired people that you love to follow.
So I like Kate Davis. So she's like the classy end. I like to just watch all her outfits. She adds much classier and then she adds a little Western because she is the wife to the champion bull rider and everything. So I think it's the best of both worlds when you watch her.
I
What do you think?
agree. Yep. I love Kate Davis too. And I also love a lot of the other girls. Tell me a little bit about your influencer journey or what that's looked like for you and how you feel about that.
A big goal of ours was to get a clothing endorsement for several years. So Matt has had his pro card for 10 years. And I just felt I'm basically his marketing. He does not love social media. He loves it for what it's good for, but he could just do without it. And that's where I come in and I'm fascinated with it. I love marketing. I love marketing my husband. What better? I love him and I'm his biggest fan. So it's easy. My job is easy. But my goal that last year was to get a big clothing sponsorship. And so I have a couple of people in the industry who were like, there's so many different routes you can go. And Cinch was one that we really had our eye on. We went ahead and I talked with Jessica and I got with them. And that was a huge blessing. But more so that was for Matt. And I love that for him. But our family, we also get outfitted.
I wanted to finish the thought about if someone wants to go for it and they're trying to figure it out, you've figured out how to make it work on the road. But a lot of people are really scared to take that leap.
Had I never decided to follow this cowboy around, I don't think I would have the opportunities that I have now. And I'm not saying that eventually they maybe wouldn't find me if it was meant to be, but this is definitely the best outlet. I love rodeo, the community, the people. And most of the girls, to be honest, they want you to go for it too. It's a very supportive group of women, which is really a breath of fresh air. So do
It's
it.
very
Is
true. Yeah, I love that. Where did you grow up? Tell me a little bit about your childhood, where you grew up, and how you met
I-
Matt.
I'm from Wisconsin, southeastern, a little town, Union Grove. Yes, I know everyone's like, what? Wisconsin? But I moved to Wyoming, to Cody specifically. My dad's best friend in college, he owned a couple of businesses in Cody. It's a very touristy little stop. And I know you've been there and you love it. Who doesn't, right? He had a sporting store, but he also took people on tours to Yellowstone, a wild Mustang tour, and river float trips. And so I just basically went down there to take his wild horse tour just for a summer, just for fun. I know horses, they've been a big part of my life. And so I thought, oh, what better way than to share that with people and be in a beautiful place? So that is what I did. And then I met Matt just on a whim there
While you're in Cody.
in Cody. Yeah. So he's from
Okay,
there.
I
He's
love
from
this.
Colorado. Yeah. Then he moved to Cody when he was younger and he went to high school and I met him. He was 28 when I met him and is at the rodeo and we hit it off and he was fighting bulls back then. And that was very endearing and cool. And nobody I knew in Wisconsin was a bullfighter. So that was
Nobody
it.
you knew ever was a bullfighter, probably. That's
I,
like 1 in a billion people, nobody.
I know, nobody. It was pretty
And
cool. And then it just took off from there. We started dating and we're just wrapped up in this romance in this wonderful place. And then we ended up finding out we were going to have our son shortly after.
it's
So,
exciting, though.
uh,
What happens when you're in love? You have
I,
babies, that's great.
and then bullfighting was it's very dangerous for people in the industry. They know. And so we just were like, what are some other things? Also, he had dabbled in it at the Cody Night Rodeo there in Cody. His boss, Maury, he needed a rodeo clown one night. And so Matt stepped in and he had done it a few times before that too, but very new to it when we had gotten together.
And that was how long ago?
That was like right around 13 years ago.
Oh my gosh, long time. Yeah, so you have an
Yep.
11-year-old and a 3-year-old, which is exciting,
Yep.
and now you've been doing it for 13 years, and I love that you met at the Cody Night Rodeo. This is, like, the best story ever. We should do commercials
Yeah. And
about this.
the coolest part about it was this year was a big moment for our family and for him, probably mostly, but he worked the Cody Stampede, which is a big 4th of July rodeo. There's so many. And that's one of the biggest ones going on over the 4th of July. And so it was his year to work it. And so it was the culmination of just being raised, growing up there. We met there. We started out very young with a baby, didn't have a lot. Where he is now, this year, this is his 3rd year as the alternate for the NFR, multiple circuit finals, awards, shortlist for comedy act, Coors Main in the Can, all the things. It was very neat to go there with all the accolades, but also just as a reflection of who we were when we met and just if we've made it in the rodeo industry so far.
Cool. Your stories, though, is very inspiring for people that are wanting that story, right? That's sometimes it doesn't happen all at once, and sometimes it's hard in the beginning, and sometimes things don't go the way you think they're going to. But it feels like you have a lot of faith and you have a lot of trust, and you have a lot of intuition too, I would guess, involved in all this.
Yeah,
There's
and I understand ways, but it doesn't always work out. But that's okay. Just we have a lot of faith. There was a lot of times we wanted to give up. Surely him and I can count. It was rodeo. I love the way that Alexis Kimsey put it. I just adore her. I think she's awesome and she inspires me because she's just the sweetest person when you meet her. She's got all this and Sage and they have so much going on, but she's literally so down to earth and she's amazing. But she was doing, I think she has a podcast and she was talking about how cowboys and the lifestyle, it's so romanticized. And it is. It really is. It's very intriguing. And you think, oh, rodeo cowboy or just a cowboy in general. But the lifestyle, it's hard. It's very different from most. It takes a specific kind of woman, but I feel like don't get wrapped up in all the romance of it. Make sure that it's what you want to do because it's a lifestyle. 100%. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, I agree. It's really fair to say that people get in and they taste what's really going on, and it's bitter sometimes because there's a lot of pain and a lot of growth that happens through figuring out how do you make money inside of this industry that is it's
Yeah.
an old industry as far as things are going right now, right? And people want to learn about it. There's still a lot of disruption going on. Is who will the next generation be and what will it be like? How will we learn about our food? How
Yeah.
will we learn about rodeo? How will we educate our kids about these things? So it's admirable that you are homeschooling your children and that you're teaching them all about this way of life, which is different than most people. So good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to know a little bit about your NFR. So is the alternate for the barrelman means you get to be there the whole time. And if something happens, then he's on and you get to be there. Tell me about what you're going to be doing and where we could find you.
Yeah, so we aren't going to be there the entire time. We go a little early. We're going because they also have the PRCA Work Contract Personnel Convention. So basically, we have a booth there just like any convention and we have a banner with his accolades and mostly we have rodeos booked into 24 into 25, but we have a few dates open and it's just a good place to meet and see all of our friends, but to meet new committees and be in front of people and just to have fun. It's Vegas, right? It's the NFR. It's a couple of days before the rodeo actually starts. But they also have the awards banquet, which Matt's nominated for Coors Main in the Can this year. He's on the top 5 for that. And then just to celebrate all of our friends that are on a bunch of lists, which is really exciting. A lot of people don't really know that all that goes on, but it's just a fun thing to celebrate your colleagues and everybody involved. So we'll be at that. So we'll be all dressed up for that. That's the night after the back number ceremony. So they do that Tuesday, and then the awards banquet is Wednesday. We'll be at that. And then we're staying next to the South Point at the Grand View. But most everything within stuff in the PRCA goes on at the South Points. It's very nice. We'll do that. And then we'll do the he got asked to be on an episode of Rump Chat, Justin and Ashley Rumford. He's another fellow rodeo clown. He has a podcast, and so we're going to be over there. I'm not sure what convention center it's at necessarily, Cowboy Christmas. I can't remember which one, but so that'll be Thursday morning, the first perf day. And then that night, I think he's possibly going to be with Chris Rankin over at the plaza. He's got a watch party and he was going to interview Matt for that. So we're just going to be all over the place. But um, he does not have to technically stay the whole time we're there. If John Harrison were to get hurt, God forbid, Matt would have to go in there. But I know we could get him there from Texas. I think he has 24 hours to get there. But we're just excited. It's a lot of people. My husband always says they wait a lifetime to get a phone call. He's gotten 3 times, and he's been top 5 for the NFR 7 years in a row. So either way, getting it or not, we just feel blessed and just to be in that group of people. It's a cool feeling.
Oh, that's amazing, Stacie. I'm so excited. How can we find out more if we want to follow your journey through social media? Where do we watch it?
Okay, Matt is terrible at social media, but he has one. We have a joint Facebook. It's Matt Stacie Tarr on Facebook. Most updates, family wise, rodeo wise, I put them on there. Even we're building a house, so I do all kinds of it's family rodeo. He has an Instagram, just Matt Tarr, and then I have an Instagram, Stacie Tarr. My stories are all day. He gives me heck because I like to post what we had for dinner on the Traeger, what he killed. We have some acreage and he loves to hunt with Branson. What did we go to the grocery store? I'm all day. It drives him crazy, but I like to give people an insight or like where I'm shopping or whatever. My Instagram is probably the best place to find all of the highlights in the day to day routine that the Tars are doing. Otherwise, we have a website as well. It's matttarrodeoclown.com. And
Okay,
that's
perfect. Yeah.
mostly just his accolades and our road.
Yeah, I'll link all of that and I will let people. I've been watching your story for a while and I have been chatting with you for a while through social media. Who are you wearing at the NFR? And are you an influencer for anyone while you're down there? What's going on with that?
So, really, just Casey at the Pretty Buffalo Boutique in Cody, Wyoming. I love her. I know you love her. She is just great. She is anything you need, let me know. I've got some really nice pieces from her that I'll incorporate probably in every outfit that I wear out there. Between her, it'll just be her and Cinch. We have that deal with Cinch and they've been so good to us. So really between those two, I don't think I have anything else in my closet right now, honestly.
Okay. And is Matt signing autographs anywhere? And how do we get your autograph if some girl wants it?
I'm definitely not. Branson sometimes gets mad because he's not on Matt's autograph sheets, but I'm not going to go there. As I know of right now, he doesn't. A few years ago, he signed for Coors. They had some stuff out there because he's sponsored by Coors too. But if I know anything, I'll let you know, or it'll be on my story. If anything comes up, any other watch parties or interviews, if anybody wants to go and just follow my Instagram, they're going to find everything we're doing at the NR will be on there. Play by play. He's going to hate it, but it's happening.
Okay. I'm excited, Stacie, because that is helpful for everyone. So I will link that to here. And I'm so grateful that you've been on today. This is Ashley, the Boot Babe on Western Fashion behind the scenes. And we have been live with Stacie Tarr, the man in the can, the girl behind the man in the can, or in front of, or around, or with the social media or the camera. I'm so grateful you've been here today, Stacie. Is there anything that you want to leave everyone with? Is there anything you just want to share? I know people, sometimes it's hard to get to know people. And so you're great with people coming up to you and being like, "Hey, I saw you on social media," and just wanting to chat. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I will tell you, I am a people person. My husband, although he has an entertainment job, he's not always super openly happy, go lucky, friendly. But anytime anybody ever has a question or wants to talk to me or reach out to me on any platform, I'm 100% open to chatting. I am on team girl. So like any girl, like there's no competition. I 100% am cheering for every other girl out there. And I wish there were more like that. And I hope that stuff like this makes that more possible because at the end of the day, we just need each other to lean on and just be kind to one another and work hard and have faith in God. And I feel like it'll all come.
It is. It's all working out for you. Thanks for being here, Stacie. I'm grateful. This is Ashley on Western Fashion Behind the Scenes, and we are out for today. Just remember, it's always a good time to wear cowboy boots.
Thanks for listening to Western Fashion Behind the Scenes. If you loved what you heard today, go like and share this podcast. And if you know someone who has an incredible story and is in the Western industry, reach out at westernfashionbts@gmail.com.